Hey Simlies, it's Deligracy here. How are you guys today? I am just doing a speed build of a new home for my Dine Out LP. I'm doing a Californian build. And to begin with this build, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just thinking, okay, this family needs a new house, and because their dad is a bit of a grump, and he's just all he does is he owns franchises of fast food, like he's a restaurant fast food tycoon, business tycoon. So he's like all about the monies. He's all about the monies. He's hot headed. He's not that nice to his family. And I feel like he would move into a really expensive house, but also maybe a little bit of a beige, boring kind of house. So that's kind of what this house is. But at the same time, it's really, really nice, in my opinion. I'm a little bit biased, of course. But basically, this build was well, to begin with, I was building it with a very strong level of contrast with white walls and black accents. And in the end, I was like, you know what? Nah, this isn't right. So we make it into a more of a Californian looking build. And I don't know if this is really typical of California, but I feel like I've seen a lot of films where the homes are like this. But basically, it's that orangey red roof tiling with white walls and timber or orange slash Spanish looking windows and doors and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we end up going for. And it ends up being inspired partly by the house in The Parent Trap, the house where the vineyard is. A little bit inspired by that, but probably mostly inspired by, in the film The Holiday, Cameron Diaz's house before she switches households. And her house is like, in The Holiday, her character is a control freak and a neat freak, and everything has to be perfect, and she gets stressed out really easily. So her house is really, really beautiful, but at the same time, it's really, really white, beige, browns, clean, modern, classic at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much the inspiration for this build. And for this sim family, I really like it, but I think if I had different sims living here, I'd probably add a bit more color and just brighten it up a bit. But I don't know, it's kind of nice to do a neutral toned house for a change. And the furnishings and whatnot are very traditional, but at the same time contemporary. So I'm gonna describe this as a traditional contemporary build. Does that even make sense? I don't know. But anyways, today has been a very relaxing day for me. It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon while I'm recording this, and I'm sitting here with a cappuccino and a healthy brownie I bought from a shop near me. And the brownie doesn't taste that good though. Healthy brownies just, I don't know. I've never had a good healthy brownie. I'm yet to find one, but it's okay. It's okay. It's still enjoyable. And I've also got some incense on. I've got Nag Champa incense, which is my favorite incense because my mum used to always burn it while I grew up. And yeah, it's just been a cloudy, rainy day outside, so it's been very cozy just being here and building and enjoying a warm drink. So yeah, what are you guys up to? I'd love to know in the comments down below what it's like where you are right now. Is it warm? Is it windy? Is it cold? I don't know, is it snowing? I don't think many places are snowing right now, but you never know. You never know where a simile might come from. Alrighty. Ooh, message. How exciting. But yeah, I think this house to begin with was looking really symmetrical, and that bothered me a bit because I don't like symmetrical homes. I'm not a fan. So we are going to change this up a bit. We're going to turn the right wing of the house into a covered pool area, a covered outdoor pool. And then on the other side, we're going to absolutely completely get rid of the left-hand wing. And on that side, we're just going to add a little bit of extra wall detail with a bit of a balcony. I'm also going to be cutting out a fair bit of this build because I spent so freaking long on the kitchen. I need more kitchen counters in The Sims 4. I am not satisfied. I need more because there's not enough with stone tops and realistic looking textures on top of them. There's too many with just flat color textures. I'm like, what even is that? So as the graphics of the game have improved, especially the lighting engine, and we've been seeing more textures in the games, like sequins and shiny and golds. I feel like the original textures of some of the base game items are a little bit lacking in that department, and probably the most noticeable is the kitchen counters. They're just flat color textures, and they drive me nutballs. So I've cut out, I kind of, it's actually quite interesting, the kitchen part of furnishing in this speed build, because I've switched from each kitchen I created pretty quickly. So you'll see them switch side by side for a few seconds, and you'll see how much I was struggling trying to find a nice kitchen. I have paused a little bit here. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was on Twitch watching someone stream and I was in the comments or something like that. And yeah, doing a bit of roofing now. The roofing is always something I have difficulty with. I can't wait to get rid of those wings. It looks so bad right now. Ugh, gotta get rid of them. But yeah, roofing is something I've always had difficulty with in every Sims game, and it's just, I don't know, it's just hard. Roofing is not something that I check out very often on houses. I'm not like, oh, check out the roof on that house. I look at the actual walls and windows and all of those finer details and the whole thing rather than the roof itself. So I think that's why I have difficulty with it. Right now I'm like, what should I do over here? So this is where we're going to create a pool, and the pool's going to wrap around to the back of the house. And we're also going to be moving this house to a smaller lot in a little while, because it was just unnecessary to have it on this massive 64 by 64 lot. It was just unnecessary. I don't want that huge property look for this family. I want it to be in, like, I imagine they could live in a gated community or like a housing estate or something like that. They're those kind of people. Ooh, those kind of people. I don't mean it's a kind of person that lives in a housing estate. Housing estates are fine. But I feel like they would find security in being really close to other big houses that look like theirs, you know? They like, or at least their dad really likes being viewed as super duper normal. Kind of like the Dursleys in essence, but they're wealthier. You know? I don't know. You know, the Dursleys from Harry Potter. Oh, I love Harry Potter. I hope the stage show or the play that J.K. Rowling has written, is it the something of the cursed child, the scar of the cursed child, something like that. I really hope it's good. I really hope that. And I understand that she probably never wants to write another Harry Potter book again, because it was finished at 7 books and the storyline was finalized, and I feel like if she went back to it, it would ruin it. I know a lot of you guys would disagree, but that's just my opinion. And doing a stage show is even risky, you know? You don't want to ruin the storyline at all. But I think it'll be really, really good. So, I don't know, I'd love to see it, but I guess it won't be coming to Australia for quite a long time. Okay, so we're almost ready to move the house onto a different lot and also change the color scheme to the nice warm browns. I really dislike this black and white color scheme. It's just, in my opinion, not very tasteful. So we're going to get rid of that in a second and make it a lot nicer. A little bit warmer and a lot nicer. At least that's what I think. And oh dear, I'm just getting a phone call. So I'm going to pause this right now. Alrighty, so that was just like a quick little phone call that I really didn't have to answer, but I thought it was going to be an important one. Annoying. Anyways, back to it. We've got the lovely red, kind of orangey, warm roofing going up now, and then we've changed a lot of the other stuff to brown, and we're putting lots of beautiful red autumnal leaves climbing up the walls. And that's definitely inspired by the house on The Holiday with Cameron Diaz. I love that house. That house is so awesome, and there's lots of, you know, foliage growing up the front of the house, and I just think it's so pretty. And we're also going to be putting some flowers over the top balcony, which is going to look very nice. And yeah, I just feel like this house looks 1,000 times better in this brown color scheme as opposed to the black and white. But I would be definitely interested to hear which one you guys prefer. And I found that there was too much red leafy stuff going on. So I actually changed some of these wall decor foliage items to more green colors. And I just think that ties in really nicely with the green hedges and just mixes it up a little bit. Gosh, that's really hard to say. Mixes it up a little bit. Actually, it's really not that hard. So here we are putting that foliage up the top. I just had to size it up and move it forwards because we couldn't really see it. And also trying to pick some colors that look kind of good, that kind of blend in with the rest of the foliage on the front facade of the house there. I also love the balcony at the front of the house, how it's got a little bit of glass balustrade on it or fencing on it. And I don't know, I just love that gives a little kick of a contemporary vibe or a modern vibe to the home. And I think it's just what it needs. So it's pretty happy with that. Because this family is in the restaurant industry, they are going to have a big painting of a wine glass as you walk straight into the front room. I probably wouldn't put that in my other Sims houses, but the fact that these guys own restaurants, that's what they do. I thought that was kind of appropriate. And those lights were way too big, so we're going to size them down a little bit. And we're going to be using a lot of stuff from the Dine Out game pack because there's so much good stuff in build and buy mode. I highly recommend it as a game pack. It's my favorite game pack for The Sims 4 so far. And it's just really fun running your own restaurants. It becomes really addictive if you're into a little bit of strategic gameplay. Actually, you know what? I'm not even that much into strategic gameplay. I'm more of a storyteller, but I still found it really addictive. So I thought it was kind of cool. We're creating a nice carpet effect here, and this is an effect I saw in someone else's build. I can't remember which one it was though, but they had combined this zigzaggy carpet in 2 different colors just like that, and I thought that was really, really nice. So I decided to really copy that idea and recreate it in my build. I don't know, I just think it's really nice, a really clever use of that carpet as well. So I'm sorry I can't remember their name to reference them, but if they're watching and they know I use their house, thank you for the idea. And yeah, this whole living area, I wanted it to look very plain, very beige, but at the same time quite nice. And I want it to look like that the owner of this house, Mr. Wu, the restaurant tycoon businessman, I want him to have just probably bought this house and just paid an interior designer to decorate it in a really neutral way. And she would have just decorated it. And he was like, yep, that's fine. That's what I wanted it to be like. It's not meant to have a lot of character or color in here, which I've done plenty of in other builds. So it's fun to do something a little bit different. And I love those big leather brown chairs. They're so comfy looking, so iconic as well. I just really like them. And I think we need some more standing lamps too. This lamp ended up working all right. I think the furnishing in this house has a very strong Americana vibe as well. It's difficult to discern what American interior design is because obviously America is the entertainment, like, for those of you guys in America, America is the entertainment industry's core. Like, entertainment comes mostly from the US. Other countries just do not compete with that in any big way. I know other countries have their own things going on. Like, we've got Bollywood. There's a lot of like really cool UK TV shows and comedy shows and films. But I just feel like America with Hollywood and all of that celebrity culture is just like, because we are flooded with TV shows from there and magazines from there and everything comes from there and films, you just get so used to seeing American style in terms of architecture and interior design and in clothes that it's really hard to discern what is American design. But I feel like if I have to be like descriptive of what I'm doing right now, I have to say this is definitely inspired by American film. Definitely. And the interior, even though it's something you would totally see all around the world, I still think it's quite American. So, you know, I hope that makes sense. And I do wonder what you guys think of that, actually. I feel like a lot of you guys would be like, what? Nah, not at all. This is really basic design that would be all around the world. But I swear it's very American. I don't know. But it was interesting because I had a simile Zach actually the other day say, or ask, he's American, and he said, is it weird that all of your TV shows, or most of them in Australia, and all your films are all American, and everyone always is speaking an American accent most of the time? And I was like, well, I guess when you think about it, it's weird, but it's what we're so used to that we don't really know any different. I mean, for me, if I hear an Australian on a TV show or movie, it sounds weird to me because I'm so used to hearing Americans. The only thing I don't find strange is when I'm listening to Australian radio because I'm super used to Australian accents on radio. And the same thing is with if I'm watching YouTube videos or live streams or whatever. And if I'm talking to people in everyday life, obviously I'm really used to it. But it's funny because you find it strange to hear an Australian on TV or on film. Like, I don't know. And usually Australian actors 80% of the time will put on an American accent anyway for what they're doing. So unless they're playing an Australian role. So, yeah. I feel like my mouth is moving so quickly. Now my coffee's settling in. So this table, the timber on the chairs just weren't really looking very right. And I feel like these chairs were perfection for this. Just really basic chairs, but really comfy looking. And we use these new dine-out curtains to give the illusion that you can pull those curtains shut and cover the whole window. And I was trying to find like a pole or something to use as a curtain rod between them. And I think that would be a really great item to have in The Sims 4 as a wall decor item. So you can make them look like pull-across curtains, but I couldn't find anything that would really suffice for that use. So that's a shame. I was going to put a bar here, but the bars, I don't know. The bars that I've seen at people's houses, they don't really sit in the middle of the room like that. And I didn't want them against the window, so I decided to put a piano here instead. And it makes that area into a nice formal dining area. And then we will also have a breakfast dining area right next to the kitchen when we do the kitchen. Loving those two pots in the corner too. They're really nice decor items. And we're just putting a nice painting on the wall here. Also from the Sims 4 Dine Out game pack. So lots of Dine Out, and those wall lights I think are also from Dine Out as well. The ones with a lot of, they're kind of metal looking with a lot of intricate design work on them or pattern, which I really like. And of course we're going with browns in the bathrooms to keep them contemporary looking yet very neutral. So yeah, there was such a craze of having brown bathrooms about 5 years ago, and everyone was having brown bathrooms, like brown. At least in Australia, and I feel like they're on the way out now. They're on the way out. They've had their glory days. They won't date for a long time, but I feel like they're on the way out. I'm calling it. Out with the brown, in with the something else. Cheers to you guys if you're having a drink. Cheers to you. And here is the kitchen. Okay, the kitchen took me so long to figure out what I was doing. I have a habit of always making kitchens really light and white and bright, and that's because that's my personal taste. But I need to try different things. So I was trying to push myself to create a dark kitchen. So you guys will see me absolutely struggle with this. We're going to go through a lot of different color schemes, and I've probably cut out about 2 hours of footage. Obviously sped up, it won't go for 2 hours, but 2 hours of me working on this was not used in this video. So I will show you what I did, but yeah, it's a bit sad. It's a little bit sad. But yeah, originally we were going with this creamy look, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like I've done this before. And then I was trying to figure out some cupboards to go with the benches, because those benches, I don't believe, came with cupboards to go with them really nicely. And I was like, I might make them darker. And this looked okay, but the cupboards looked so 70s with that dark brown and the curved edges. So then I changed it to this. But the textures of this is too flat. So then I changed it to this. And then I was like, no, we need stone tops. I can't stand flat colored countertops. They need to be stone or wood. So this is what we end up going with. So there you guys saw a little bit of a snippet of the different things we went with. And finally, do I change them to the cream? Yeah, change them to the cream because it was all just a little bit dark for me. I don't know. So I'm not thrilled about this kitchen because this is not a kitchen I would like, but I feel like in this household, the owner or whoever built this house, that sim, would have loved to have a more darker kitchen, even though it's still quite light. It's still got dark cupboards and darker fronts of the counters and dark tiles behind, which is totally not my thing. So yeah, just having a bit of fun with it. And I just popped in the breakfast area here. We're just changing up the chairs. And I thought I'd skip ahead on that bit because I showed you guys making the other dining area. So I figured we don't need to see another one made. Alrighty, moving up to the master bedroom. So in this house, it is available in the gallery. Just look up my username, Deligracy. And this house was interesting because there are two rooms that could potentially be master bedrooms. One room has a balcony and a smaller bathroom, but a bigger room size. And then the other one is a smaller room size with a bigger bathroom and a balcony. So, you could, whatever your sim wants, depending on what your master sim is like, their personality, you might like to have the bigger bathroom or the bigger room. For Mr. Wu, who will be staying in this room, I decided to make it very masculine, very powerful, with a bright red wall. Stereotypically masculine, I might add. And that was inspired by Sex and the City when Mr. Big paints his wall red and Carrie's like, that wall is really red. And he's like, do you think it's too red? So that's inspired by that scene. Again, we have the curtains that would be drawn across to cover up the windows. And he needed this bigger room because I knew he'd want a TV and lounge room where he could escape from the kids, because he doesn't really, he's not a family guy. He's just ended up with his 3 kids because his wife left him. He's got a lot of money, so he kind of just pays to support them, but emotionally he can't support them. He's just not good at that. But he's good. He's good at providing for the family. That's what he's good at. And the other thing that I wanted to make sure in the bedrooms in this build was that I'm like the kind of person who really needs a lot of natural light. If I don't have natural light flooding in my windows as soon as I wake up, I feel almost claustrophobic. And I know a lot of people love to close all their curtains and be really cozy. Like, they don't like lots of natural light, and that's fine too. So for this family, they're not very fit at this stage. They love staying indoors, watching movies, playing video games. They like fast food. Although Ali is getting more into sport now as a teen. She likes watching sport. She's not that active herself just yet. We'll see through her character development how she changes. But because they're indoors a lot, I thought, you know what, maybe because then the opposite to outdoorsy people will close a lot of their windows off with curtains in this build for their bedrooms. And so I've done that. It's funny because whenever I go visit James the Sim Supply and Critic Zeus, whenever I've stayed at their houses, I've been up in the morning and I go into the bedrooms. I'm like, good morning. And I'll open the curtains and they're like, why do you always open the curtains? Can't they just be shut? And I'm like, well, you have to open them up when you're awake. Why keep them closed? And they're like, because I like it that way. So I don't know. It's this funny thing. Everyone's so different. And then this is just like an outdoor sitting area for Ali's room. Take note, she's got lots of sports posters up too, and she's really not a girly girl. She has the pastel blue colors in her room, which is nice, and it could be seen as feminine, but she's not like a girly girl by any means. And also the kids' rooms, I wanted them to look really lived in. So they've got a lot of posters stuck up everywhere in their bathroom too. They've got clothes all over the floors. And Ali and her brother, they have really nice computer setups with TVs behind their computers. And they're pretty epic. This is the youngest daughter's room, and I love this painting that came with Dine Out on the back wall above the bed. I love the soft colors in it, and instantly, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, this is for a kid's bedroom. So I used that to inspire the color palette of the room. So we have those peachy pink walls, the soft blue curtains, we've got some whites, the pinky peach in the doona cover, and she's got a few toys around the place. And she even has her own ensuite. Oh my gosh, I've never had my own ensuite until I moved out of home. And then I was like, yes, get my own bathroom. Sweet. But I always shared the main bathroom with my sister in all the houses we lived in. And here we go. How's this computer set up? Big TV, then double monitor screens plus the computer monitor and keyboard. Epic. And yeah, we're just putting up lots of pictures. We've got a DJ booth for the son and just some cologne and stuff. A very traditionally male looking room. The navy blue walls and the white skirting. All we need is a patchwork bedspread, and it's like Seth's room of the OC. I swear he had a navy blue room. Did he? I don't know. Can't recall. And then we're just doing the landing here before we go into the screenshots. So up here, we're just keeping it basic, putting in a couple of columns to use up the space and a bookshelf. And we'll also put some seating in the corner there as well, just to keep it basic and just really to fill the space. So that's all looking nice and well. Yeah, and it's a shame none of the couches really go super nicely with those chairs. I don't think there's even a swatch that goes with those chairs in the supposedly matching couch, which is kind of annoying. There is a bit of a swatch issue. Anyways, here's the exterior of our Californian home. Oh, God, I hope it is Californian. Otherwise, you guys are going to be like, it's not even a Californian build. At least my interpretation. So we've got some nice exterior shots there, and it definitely has a little bit of a Spanish feel to it, I think. So going in here, that's just the walk-in area with the big wine as soon as you walk in, and you can see it's very soft, very neutral, very nice. And, arguably a little bit bland, but some people are into that. So this is where they live. And we've got Ali there in just her t-shirt and shorts. I love the dining area. I love it. It's so simple, and I love those big curtains that can be kind of drawn across. I hope we get some slightly transparent ones because that's quite a popular style of curtains at the moment. And then here's the kitchen. Yeah. I don't like it. I'll have to renovate it at some stage, but we've got the kids and Mr. Weir in there having some food at the breakfast dining area, which they will use most of the time unless we have like a dinner party or something. We've got the brown and white bathroom. Heading upstairs to check out the bedrooms. We've got Mr. Weir's master, the red master bedroom, the power room, and I don't know, very simple, very easy, and those curtains have been partially drawn over the windows. And here's Ali's room, a total mess, but very lived in. There's a lot more character in her room than the rest of the house, that's for sure. And she's got that huge TV on her wall. Lucky girl. I love the green and the blue in this room too. I like green. Green's like my favorite color at the moment. I don't usually have a favorite color, but I'm liking the green. And best computer setup ever. I had to throw in that picture. And then here's the pinky peach room inspired by that painting. So It's a lot smaller, but I think it works. Bit cramped, but that's all right. All kids' rooms are cramped with toys and stuff, and the outdoor patio area, which I added off camera, so you can just see those. And yeah, some views from around the house in the pool area at sunset. How romantical is that? Anyways, here's the floor plan, but basically, you guys, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you soon. Oh, and also let me know if you have any ideas for other builds. I'm always looking out for those. Bye!